Plague Inc. recently got a new update, adding a new game mode into the game, Outbreak mode, which is basically a daily challenge feature that gives you a disease with a bunch of new modifiers, which the game calls mutators, some of which do some really crazy things. Let me show you some examples. Lab explosion causes the entire population of a country to die if you don't pop the blue bubble in it. Lucky Dip evolves a random trait every time you get a trait, allowing you to easily get everything. And Access Denied causes a country to immediately close their borders and ports if you pop a blue bubble there. Some of them aren't quite as crazy, but they do make you think a bit more. Like Containment Zone, which reduces the infectivity in a country if you pop an orange bubble in it, forcing you to decide whether that extra DNA is worth reducing your infectivity in that country. But let me tell you about the craziest disease that I've had so far, which had a number of crazy traits that combined in some interesting ways. Zero Sum, evolving a trait, it locks a random trait. Lateral Move, devolving a trait evolves another similar trait. And Whoops, evolving a trait kills a random country's population. That's right, kills an entire country's population. So this is how the game starts. I evolve Water 1, which locks Water 2, meaning I can't evolve it. But on the bright side, everyone in Spain dies instantly. I grab Bird 1 next, which results in Libya being destroyed. And then I infect Algeria, which has a population of 1? Yeah, that's because of another one of those mutators which I didn't mention. Anyway, coughing mutates, and apparently a trait being mutated also causes countries to die, because Indonesia is gone. Now this is creating a very interesting dynamic where I need to evolve traits to improve my disease, but I want to limit what traits I'm evolving, as each one not only kills a country, but also locks off other traits I want. It seems to only lock transmissions and symptoms, not abilities, although evolving abilities still locks other traits, as after getting both cold resistance and drug resistance, I lost access to a bunch of symptoms. So that's something at least. But with the transmissions, it seems to always lock the second trait in the series. So Water 1 locked Water 2 and Bird 1 locked Bird 2, for example. Now another interesting thing is that if a trait is locked, I can't directly evolve it myself, but it can still be attained if it mutates. At least I think it does. I don't know, it seems kind of bugged. But anyway, I restart and put the base oxidization gene in so I can mutate transmissions. Now this absolute mess of a game reaches a point where I've infected most of the countries that aren't already dead, but they're curing me fast, and I need more DNA to get genetic reshuffles. So I devolve Livestock 1 to gain a couple DNA points, and it instantly evolves the trait back again. So did I just discover an infinite DNA glitch? Yeah, kind of. Because of Lateral Move, if I devolve a trait, it evolves another random trait. And since this is like the only transmission that isn't locked, it just immediately re-evolves the trait that I just devolved, allowing me to get as much DNA as I want. Oh, wait, that just killed like a fuck ton of countries. Yeah, each time I evolve it back, it kills an entire country's population, so, new strategy. Let's just keep devolving until every country is dead. Cursed though this was, I had fun. Now there's a couple more interesting things to note. Firstly, when playing an Outbreak, you are given a selection of 3 countries to start in, each also providing different stat boosts depending on the one you pick. And I quite like this as it forces you to try out different starting locations, since generally speaking, in the normal game, or even when playing custom scenarios, you tend to start in the same few countries because they're just superior options. Why would I ever start in somewhere like Afghanistan, Botswana, or West Africa? I pretty much stick to Saudi Arabia, India, and occasionally Egypt if I want to mix things up a bit. But this mode actually makes you have to consider different starting options, and since you get 3 choices, you're not just locked to a specific country, you still have a degree of choice. Winning a game of Outbreak allows you to unlock a permanent boost to your future Outbreak games, such as increasing the stat boosts from particular traits or genes. Now so far my boosts haven't made things so crazy, but I imagine after a while it'll start to stack up and make some crazily overpowered diseases. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out, but I can't comment on this feature too much this early into the release of this game mode. So yeah, I like this mode. Not every challenge has been very exciting. There was a Shadow Plague one that had basically no special rules. But some of them do get pretty crazy, and I think it adds some replayability to the game, which is a good thing. Anyway, that's all from me for the moment. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye!